guys, welcome back to another Shop My Stash Sunday, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. This is basically where I go through my older makeup collection and pick out products to use for the coming week that I haven't used in a long time. I'm just trying to make an effort to sort of rediscover some of those old products and use some of them up because I'm constantly getting new stuff and talking about new stuff, and I just don't want to forget about some of those old favorites. So just quickly, I want to mention that I'm actually using my phone to film today because the memory card in my camera, like a little piece of it broke off and it's not working. It's giving me a funny error message, so I'm gonna have to get to Best Buy today and get a new one. So I hope that the quality is okay. I think the picture quality should be fine because the camera on my phone is really good. I'm just not so sure about the sound. So hopefully you can still hear me. If not, you might have to crank up the volume a little bit. I'm so sorry about that. So last week, a lot of you requested that I do a recap of last week's makeup and just let you know my thoughts really quickly on how they performed and things like that. So I don't have too much negative to say about last week's products. I loved the IT Cosmetics palette, the BH Cosmetics palette. The blushes were beautiful. I liked the Tarte bronzing palette, the highlighters, pretty much everything except the one thing that didn't work out so well for me was the Becca Velvet Blurring Primer. I didn't like the texture of it. It has sort of like a powdery finish that didn't really work too well with my dry skin. I felt like it sort of helped my makeup to cling to drier patches, and it didn't fill in pores as well as I would like. I tend to prefer thicker, more gel-like primers, and that one feels more like a light lotion. So I wasn't too much of a fan of that one. There also seemed to be something a little off with the No. 7 foundation. It is supposed to be a serum texture, but it seemed extra watery, and I thought at first that maybe it had just separated in the bottle, and I shook it up a bunch, but it didn't really seem to help. So I was a little bit nervous to use it because I don't know, if it's gone bad, I don't want to put it on my skin and cause issues. So what I did instead was I tested out 3 new foundations for the week for an upcoming video. So I was just trying to compare and contrast them. They're all drugstore, so definitely stay tuned for that one. But otherwise, everything else that I pulled for last week I loved, and if you missed last week's video, definitely head back and check that out. I'm going to link it in the description box below. Alright, so without further ado, let's check out the products that I pulled for this week.
Okay, so here's this week's basket, and let's just jump right in and start with the face products. So the primer that I chose this week is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Coconut Water Primer Stick. I didn't really give this one too much of a go when I first got it, so I wanted to try it again because a lot of people said that it's really good for dry skin. So this is what it looks like, and it feels really cooling and hydrating on the skin, and it does have that little bit of gel texture that I like that helps to fill in your pores and smooth out texture. So definitely excited to try this one again. And then for foundation this week, I'm going to use the Too Faced Born This Way. This was one of my absolute favorite foundations when it first came out. I just wore it so much. And then I repurchased it last spring. I have the shade Nude, and I just really like the texture of this. I think, again, it's a really nice hydrating formula for dry skin. This actually looks kind of dark for me. You know, I bought it in the springtime, like close to the summer, I think it was May. So it actually is looking kind of dark on me right now. I'm super pale from the winter, so it's definitely kind of looking a little bit yellow on my skin too. But the one thing I do like about this foundation is that it just blends really seamlessly, so I think I can make it work. For concealer this week, I'm going to use the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Concealer with Hyaluronic Acid. I have the shade Fair, number 10. And if you like the Benefit Fake Up Concealer, this is a really good dupe for that, but I actually like this one even more. It's not quite as thick, and it just feels so creamy, so hydrating. I don't normally like stick concealers because they make my under eyes look dry. This one does not. It's just beautiful. It actually seems to sort of plump up the lines under my eyes a little bit, so I really love this. I haven't used it since the summer, but I definitely am excited to try it out again. And then for bronzer, I'm going to be using the bareMinerals Invisible Bronze in the shade Fair to Light. I love this baked formula. It reminds me a lot of the Hourglass powders. It's so smooth and soft, and this color, Fair to Light, is beautiful on lighter skin tones. It's a very neutral brown, so it's not orange in the slightest bit. and I just love how seamlessly it blends on the skin. I just really, really love this. And again, I haven't used it since the summer, so I'm really excited to try it again. And then for blush, I'm using the Kokie Cosmetics Blush Up palette in the shade Blushing. This has 3 different tones inside. These 2 on the end are more of like a satiny finish, and then the middle one is a matte. So I'll just show you what the colors look like really quick. You have this nude shade right here. It's like kind of a peachy nude. And then this is a cooler toned mauvey pink. And then the last one is more of a peach. So it's a pretty palette, and I do like the formula. I think it's really blendable and soft, easy to pick up with a brush. So that's my drugstore pick for this week for blush. And then my higher end blush pick is this IT Cosmetics Confidence in Your Glow palette. I got this over the summer as well. So this is the shade Instant Natural Glow, and it has sort of like this ombre effect where you have a highlight, a blush, and a bronzer. I like to mainly just swirl them all together into one color, so that's what this looks like here. It comes out sort of like a really pretty rosy tone. It also has a little bit of shimmer, but not anything too crazy. There's no glitter in here. It's very finely milled and easy to wear, especially if you have texture issues. It's not gonna enhance those. Then for highlighter, I'm gonna be using the Wet n Wild MegaGlo makeup stick in the shade When the Nude Strikes. I have a Clinique cream highlighter that I really like, and I got that one a little more recently. This one is on the older side. I can't even remember when it actually came out, but I do like a cream highlight, especially in the winter when my skin is really dry, because it doesn't have that powdery look to it. This one is really, really pretty. Very, very shiny, but you can just sort of blend it in and make it look really natural, and just like your skin is sort of glowing from within. So I'm really excited to try this one out again and see if it's a dupe for the Clinique one, because if so, that would be awesome. And then for eyeshadow palettes, I'm going to be using the Persona Cosmetics Identity palette. I love this palette so much, and really, as you can see, I haven't used it enough. I used it like crazy when I first got it, just for a few weeks, and then, as always happens, I got some newer palettes in that I wanted to test out and review, and this one got pushed to the side, but I just love the color so much. It has a great mix of like warm and cool shades, and the formula is absolutely beautiful as well. It's so pigmented. I mean, look at some of these colors. That's one of the shimmers. I mean, you can see the mattes as well are just really, really nice. Look at how that goes on. It's just so buttery, and there's not a lot of fallout either, which I love. So I'm gonna just insert a full set of swatches here for you guys so you can see the whole palette. Okay, so here's what the palette looks like. I also want to mention that it's going to be on sale at Ulta during their 21 Days of Beauty coming up this week on Wednesday. So if you were wondering about this palette or debating whether or not to get it, I say definitely get it. You will not regret it. It's such an awesome palette, and I'm really excited to start using it again this week. And then my drugstore palette for this week is the Flower Beauty eyeshadow palette in the shade Warm Natural. And this is another really good formula if you haven't tried Flowers eyeshadows. It has a mix of shimmer and matte shades in here, as well as a brush, which is actually really nice quality. So just to give you an idea of how they swatch, here's one of the shimmer shades. They're very soft and buttery, but I would caution you that there's a lot of fallout, but even the mattes, see that purple matte shade, and purples aren't always easy to do. So I'm really impressed with the pigmentation and formula in here. Just, as I said, be careful a little bit of the fallout because it can get kind of intense, especially with some of the matte shades. So I'll just quickly show you the swatches on my arm of all the shades. I think you have some really pretty purples in here. The lavender color is really nice. I also like this shimmery purple. And then you have, this one is a really nice matte transition shade. And then you also have this really pale lavender here. It's kind of hard to see. but it's just a really pretty shimmer. So, and then you have some deeper, smokier shades as well, which I don't dip into all that often. I kind of stick with these and with this light one down here. But it's a really pretty palette. It just hasn't gotten a whole lot of use, so I definitely am excited to start using this one again as well. Okay, so I have two options for eyeliners this week, and first is the Balm's Mr. Right Now in the shade Jack, and this is a really nice bronze. I love this one just for softer looks because I don't always like to wear deeper like black or charcoal gray, and this one is really nice, especially for lining under your eyes, and these eyeliners are so long lasting as well. And then also this is the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in the shade Berry Merry. I thought that this tone would go really nicely with some of those Flower Beauty shades in that palette because it's more of a purple tone. So this is also super creamy and goes on really nicely. So those are those. For brows, I'm testing out the Flower Beauty Draw the Line Eyebrow Pencil in the shade Blonde. This has a spoolie on one end and the pencil on the other. This one feels nice. It feels kind of creamy, which I like, but it's not too much that it's going to smudge all over the place. So I also really like this cool tone. It's going to go really well with my hair color. I got this quite a while ago and used it once or twice, but I can't really remember what it was like, so I'm excited to revisit that one as well. For mascara this week, I'm using the Lorac Royal Treatment Primer and Mascara Duo. This is one of my favorites lately. It has a bright blue primer on one side and then the mascara on the other. So when you mix them together, it kind of makes a dark navy color, which helps to brighten the whites of your eyes. I love the brush on this one. It's the traditional mascara wand, but it's tapered, so it helps you really get into the inner corners. And it also doesn't clump, and it lasts all day. It doesn't smudge or flake, and it makes my lashes look really big, which I love. I love more of that false lash look, so this is an awesome one to try. And then for lips, I always pick sort of a tinted balm or lip oil because that's what I wear a lot on an everyday basis. And these are probably my favorite. They're the Clarins Instant Light Lip Comfort Oil. And this is in the shade Candy. It's pretty much clear. It has just a very, very slight tint to it, but it's mainly clear. It smells amazing. It actually stays put and you can feel it on your lips for several hours. You can really feel it hydrating. So it's like a thicker lip balm or a lip mask in that way. So if you have dry lips, I would absolutely recommend these. They're expensive, but I haven't tried another lip oil that is as good as these. So it's worth it for me. I also have another product from Kokie Cosmetics. This is their Lip Veneer Cream Gloss in the shade Pillow Talk. And this is kind of like the Anastasia lip glosses. It's very, very pigmented in one swipe, almost like a liquid lipstick, but it has a shiny finish. And it's not super shiny like a gloss, so I would say it's kind of in between a lip gloss and a liquid lipstick. It does dry down a little bit after a while, but it's not gonna be completely matte and it's not drying. It feels very, very comfortable on the lips, and I also really love this color. And then last but not least, I got a sample of this Bite Beauty lipstick in the shade Chutney. This is also kind of similar to the Kokie one where it's not a matte liquid lipstick, but it's just supposed to be super comfortable, and I love this shade so much. I think I tried it like when I first got it and then I never touched it again, but this color is absolutely beautiful, and I love Bite's lip products, so I'm excited to wear this one around as well. It actually is kind of a little deeper than I would normally wear for every day, but what the heck.
Alrighty guys, that does it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope you like this concept. Definitely let me know in the comments below if any of the products I pulled this week are ones that interest you, or if you have them already. I would love to hear your thoughts on everything. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel so that you'll be notified of future videos. Thank you again, and I will see you guys next time.